Imagine a woman who, even in the midst of darkness, shines with an intense light, capable of illuminating the darkest corners around her. This woman not only stands out, but radiates something beyond mere appearance. She is like a star in the sky, not depending on the light of others to shine, but having her own source of brightness coming from within. This light is not only visible, but it is felt. It transforms and inspires those around her, showing that, even in difficulties, it is possible to keep a light alive and strong. Women who shine this way are those who have something special, an inner strength that cannot be extinguished. A woman's true strength does not come from the things she achieves or from external approval. On the contrary, it comes from a much more powerful source, her heart and soul. Imagine an inner flame that never goes out, an unshakable strength that sustains her through life's storms. This strength does not depend on material possessions or social status, but on a deep connection to something greater. It is the strength that comes from God, a strength that is cultivated through faith, prayer, and unconditional trust in His purpose. A woman who has this strength can face any challenge because her foundation is in something that no one can take from her. Trust in God. Imagine a tree with deep, strong roots firmly planted in the ground. This is the comparison for the woman of faith. Her roots are built on divine wisdom, which nourishes her and keeps her strong, even when the winds of adversity blow fiercely. Just as a fruitful tree bears good fruit, the woman who has her roots in God bears fruit of kindness, patience, wisdom, and love. And these fruits are not only for her, they bless everyone around her. Every action, every word that comes from her heart reflects the virtues she has cultivated through her journey with God. In a world where external expectations are constant and comparisons with others are inevitable, the woman of God chooses not to follow the world's standards. She does not seek to please others or live in pursuit of status and external validation. Instead, she breaks barriers and challenges what the world considers important. Her mission is to reflect God's goodness and power by living a life of truth, authenticity, and courage. She does not care about what the world says she should be. She only cares about what God says she is. And that's why she shines in a unique and powerful way. Now let's talk about something that will transform your vision. Some rare virtues that can make a woman stand out in a world that often values the superficial. These virtues are not easily seen by human eyes, but they are deeply recognized by God. They are qualities that, when cultivated, not only transform the woman's life, but also those around her. What makes these virtues so rare is that they cannot be bought or forced. They are the result of a constant walk with God, dedication, prayer, and surrender. And it is these virtues that make the woman truly extraordinary in the eyes of God. Imagine virtues as the fuel of a powerful engine. They are the force behind an extraordinary life. Each virtue is a step towards a greater purpose. When these virtues are incorporated into her being, the woman not only lives according to God's principles, but she becomes a source of inspiration and transformation for the world. True transformation begins from within, and the virtues help shape character, bring more peace and wisdom, and enable the woman of God to be a leader in her family, work, and community. When these virtues are at work, the woman becomes more than just a good person. She becomes a woman who reflects God's glory in everything she does. Among all the virtues, there is one in particular that has the power to transform everything around her. When this virtue is lived out genuinely, it not only transforms the woman, but impacts the lives of everyone she crosses paths with. Imagine such a deep change that when facing challenges, she emerges stronger, more confident, and more determined to make a difference in the world. This transformation is contagious. As the woman grows and strengthens on her journey, she not only becomes a living testimony of how God can transform a life, but she also becomes an agent of change. Every action, every choice she makes reflects the power of God in action, changing the circumstances around her in a powerful and impactful way. We live in a society that often places image, status, and appearance above internal qualities. The world tries to measure a woman's worth based on what she has or what she does externally. But women who live according to God's principles know that true strength does not lie in appearances. True strength is in what a woman carries in her heart. It's her virtues, her faith, her dedication to God, and the way she treats others that truly matter. While the world values fleeting things, the woman of God invests in what is eternal. She invests in her soul, her character, and in what can positively impact those around her. A woman's true strength doesn't come from the things she possesses or what the world says she should be. True strength comes from the virtues she cultivates in her heart, those she receives directly from God. When a woman commits to living according to divine principles, she becomes unbeatable, not because she is perfect, but because she is shaped by God's love and wisdom. In the modern world, we are often pressured to value what is external, what we can see, touch, and possess. But God calls us to something much deeper, to look within ourselves. He invites us to cultivate qualities that cannot be bought or earned through human effort, the virtues that arise from a heart surrendered to Him. These virtues reflect the divine character. They do not come from a quest for approval, but from a genuine desire to be more like God. By opening our hearts and allowing Him to transform us, we begin to reflect His goodness, His grace, and His unconditional love. And by doing this, we start to shine from the inside out, impacting the world in ways that external things never could. Imagine that the virtues are like seeds that God sows in our hearts. They may seem small and insignificant at first, but when nurtured with faith and patience, they grow and transform into abundant fruit that touches the lives of others. These seeds do not grow instantly. They require time, dedication, and fertile soil, the heart that surrenders to God. But over time, these virtues manifest in our actions, words, and decisions, creating a life that is a living reflection of Christ's character. What God plants in us, He causes to flourish in extraordinary ways. In a world where comparisons are always present, many women live under the shadow of insecurity, feeling inadequate or incomplete. The standard set by society says that to be valuable, a woman must have a certain appearance, status, or visible success. This causes many women to feel far from true peace and confidence. However, the true woman of God knows that her worth is not in what she owns or in what others think of her, but in what is inside her. She understands that her value is immeasurable in the eyes of God, and it is this inner value that truly defines her. The woman of God does not need to compete with anyone because she knows she was uniquely and specially created for a divine purpose. The woman of God is not defined by the circumstances around her, but by the virtues she chooses to cultivate in her life. She has a steadfast heart, grounded in unshakable faith. Her mind is wise, always seeking discernment and divine understanding. And her soul is full of peace, for she trusts in God in all situations. In a world full of distractions and pressures, she remains focused on the virtues that please God. She knows that living a life of purpose and meaning depends on choosing daily to be guided by His wisdom. This does not mean she will be perfect, but she will always strive to be better each day, more aligned with God's heart. Pursuing divine virtues is not just a task, but a journey that leads the woman of God to a life of fulfillment and purpose. When a woman chooses to seek wisdom, humility, patience, discernment, and all the virtues that come from God, she begins to reflect His light in a powerful and transformative way. By seeking these virtues, she not only transforms her own life, but also becomes a beacon to others, showing that there is a better way, a way that comes from God and brings peace, joy, and hope. Seeking divine virtues is seeking a heart aligned with God's purpose and His unconditional love. True wisdom does not come only with time or experience. It is a divine gift, a present from God. The woman of God knows that to make wise decisions, she needs more than just knowledge. She needs God's guidance. When we ask for wisdom, God delights in giving us this gift. He does not leave us alone in the face of challenges, but guides us with His light. And often, the wisdom He gives us is surprising, leading us to unexpected solutions and answers that go beyond what we thought was possible. For the woman of God, every decision, big or small, should be made with divine wisdom. Acting without seeking God's direction can lead to hasty or wrong choices, resulting in unnecessary difficulties. External pressures, such as societal expectations or personal desires, can lead us to make impulsive decisions. But the wise woman knows that, above all, she must listen to God's voice. She dedicates time to prayer, seeking to discern His will so that her choices are based on what is eternal, not on the fleeting trends of the world. Wisdom is not just an abstract concept. It is revealed in our daily choices, attitudes, and the way we treat others. Divine wisdom teaches us to interact with others with love, compassion, and discernment, even when circumstances are challenging. True wisdom brings peace to the heart. Even when the path seems uncertain, the woman of God with wisdom maintains her trust in God and knows that He is in control of everything. She makes decisions with serenity, knowing that the Lord is guiding her every step. And this peace is visible to all those around her. Discernment is a precious gift from God that allows us to see beyond appearances and distinguish between what is good and what is harmful to our lives. When we have discernment, we know what we should allow on our journey and what we should avoid, protecting our heart and soul from the snares of the enemy. The story of Esther is a powerful example of discernment. In a moment of great risk, Esther knew exactly how to act, guided by God's wisdom and discernment. She had the courage to do what was right, even in the face of great danger, and God used her in an extraordinary way. In times of difficulty, discernment becomes even more crucial. Women with discernment know when to act boldly and when to wait on God, trusting that He will guide their steps in the right time. Discernment also helps us distinguish external influences, identifying the pressures or attempts by the enemy to divert us from God's path. A woman of discernment has a clear vision, not only of the situations around her, but also of God's voice that guides her, allowing her to make wise choices even in times of great challenge. Discernment is one of the most powerful virtues a woman of God can cultivate. It not only protects the heart from negative influences, but also builds healthy and deep relationships, which are fundamental to the Christian life. When we have discernment, we are able to see beyond appearances and superficial situations. It allows us to make decisions that align our lives with divine plans, avoiding the traps of the world and the distractions that may divert us from God's purpose. The woman who practices discernment walks with confidence, knowing she is following God's direction. She is able to choose wisely, keeping an attentive eye on what truly matters and protecting her heart from the deceptions of everyday life. Discernment is not just about knowing what to do, but also about knowing what to avoid, allowing for a firmer and safer walk in Christ. Discernment is not just a theoretical virtue, it has practical and profound consequences in our daily lives. Every choice made with discernment brings us closer to God and aligns us with His divine plans. If you enjoyed this video and want to keep learning more about the virtues of a woman of faith, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Stay tuned for the next part as we continue our journey to live an authentic and fulfilling faith. See you in the next video, and may God bless your life.